Hey, alright, welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, I'm Cecilia Jo and this is my channel where we talk all things book. Okay, so today I thought I would go through my April TBR. So I don't normally set a TBR, I just kind of read, like I'm a bit of a mood reader I guess, so I just kind of read what I feel like. But I feel like I'm not getting much reading done this year. Like last year I feel like at this point I'd read about 100 books genuinely, and I think I've read like 15 at the moment this year. So I just want to get back into reading and yeah, just like, you know, start getting into some really good books, because I'm still buying them. Don't get me wrong, I'm still buying loads of books, I'm just not reading them. So yeah, I thought let's just do a video with my April TBR, and then at the end of the month hopefully I'll be able to say I read all those and I'll do a little review of them all. So yeah, let's just get going. So I've not set myself like a crazy goal, because like I said, I'm just kind of getting back into reading. I think I've been in a bit of a reading slump, that's what it is, and I've just not found anything that's like really got me into it. I've been reading the Zodiac Academy through March, and I was really enjoying that, but I didn't realise how big the books were. Like I'm glad I'm reading it on a Kindle and not a physical book, because I don't think I would have even picked them up. So it's taken me a while to get through them all, so I'm gonna try and stick with physical books this month and just try and clear some of my physical TBR. So yeah, I've set myself 10 books that I've chose out. They're all physical copies, and then if I feel like, you know, if I get through them or anything like that, then I'll probably read some Kindle ones. I might put some, you know, like easy Kindle ones throughout the month maybe, ones that I can like get done in a day type thing. We'll see how it goes. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself if I don't reach the goal, but yeah, let's just go through the books that I chose. God, I can't have Witter on with myself. Anyway, the first book is called The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling, and the back says, "You broke my heart, Reese Penhallow, and we curse you, you and your whole stupid hotline. Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life the way that any witch would. Vodka, bubble baths, and a curse on her ex. That was 9 years ago now. Now Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Reese has returned to the quaint town of Braves Glen to recharge the ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall festival, but when his every move results in calamity, Vivi realises that hexing her ex might not have been so harmless after all. As the curse starts to affect the magic of the town, resulting in murderous wind-up toys, an outraged ghost, and a surprisingly talkative cat, Vivi and Reese must put their personal feelings aside and work together to break the curse and save not just the town but also Reese's life. Bum bum bum. So yeah, I picked this up mainly because I read a book called Payback's a Witch. I can't remember who wrote it now, but I'll pop a picture up here, and I really enjoyed that. So I bought this when I was feeling like I want to read another book about witches, you know, so I bought this one. So I think it's just going to be like an easy read, you know, enemies to lovers type romance, or I guess lovers to enemies to lovers. Yeah, I think it's just like a young adult type fiction book romance. So yeah, that is the first one for the month, The Ex-Hex. And then we have got a little series. This is the only series for the month. I've got all three of them. It's the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I picked this up because I actually thought it said carnival, but I do think it's still like circus themed. So there are three of them. So we've got Caraval, Legendary, and Finale. So the first one, Caraval, says, "Remember, it's all a game. What happens beyond this gate may frighten or excite you, but don't let any of it trick you. Once a year, the infamous Master Legend hosts Caraval, open only to those who've been invited. This year, the week-long game is on Legend's glittery Isla de los Sunos, where the winding streets are an elaborate snow-covered maze and the people are never who they seem. At midnight on the first day, the show begins and the visitors become players. Each of them is vying for the coveted prize, a single wish. All they must do is unravel the mystery of Caraval. But in a game where danger hides behind every charming smile, winning isn't without loss, and their wish might be their last." And the little review at the bottom says, "I love this novel. It's a thing of beauty and the stuff of dreams," and that's by Cecilia Ahern. So yeah, this is her debut novel, which I didn't realise. the Sunday Times best-selling debut novel. And it says, remember, it's only a game at the front. So yeah, there's 3 of those, a Caraval series, Caraval, Legendary and Finale. I'm presuming they go in that order. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't really know anything about it. I actually don't know much about any of these books. I think I picked them up because either TikTok told me to, or I liked how they look. I am someone that judges a book by its cover 100%. So yeah, I don't really know much about any of them. But if you've read any of them, let me know. Let me know if they're any good. Next up is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. True love isn't always diplomatic. I've actually wanted to read this book for ages and I've just never like picked it up. I think I read so many like romances last year. Actually, a lot of them weren't just like cheesy romances, a lot of them were smut books. But yeah, I feel like I read so many that I was just like, if I pick up another romance book, I'm gonna throw it at someone, you know? But I haven't read one, like a proper cheesy one, for ages. So I thought I'll read this one this month. So the back says, what happens when America's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales? Alex Claremont Diaz is handsome, charismatic, a genius, pure millennial marketing gold for the White House ever since his mother first became president of the United States. There's only one problem. When the tabloids get hold of a picture involving an altercation between Alex and Prince Harry, US-British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of family and state devise a plan for damage control, stage a truce. But what begins as a fake Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Alex or Henry could ever have imagined. Soon they are hurtling into a secret romance that could derail the presidential campaign and upend 2 nations. And the review says, outrageously fun. It is romantic, sexy, witty and thrilling. I loved every second. And that's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So it seems like a fake, I guess fake friendship turned forbidden love, I guess. That's kind of what I'm getting from the back. So yeah, Red, White and Royal Blue. I saw this one on TikTok and everyone was saying it was really good. So we'll see. So that is halfway, that's 5 of them. So next up we've got another one that TikTok told me to buy. And they said, this will make you cry. And I feel like sometimes that's what I need, you know? I want to bawl my eyes out over a book. So this one's called You've Reached Sam by Dustin Teo, I think. How do you move forward when everything you love is on the line? I absolutely hate with a passion when books have these stickers on that you can't remove and it says must read or like the must read TikTok sensation. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Why do they put them on there? It just ruins the book. Anyway, You've Reached Sam. And it says, 17-year-old Julie Clark has her future all planned out. Move out of her small town with her boyfriend Sam. Attend college in the city, spend a summer in Japan. But then Sam dies and everything changes. Heartbroken and desperate to hear him one more time, Julie calls Sam's phone just to listen to his voicemail recording, and Sam picks up the phone. The connection is temporary, but hearing Sam's voice makes Julie fall for him all over again, and with each call, it becomes harder to let him go. What would you do if you had a second chance at goodbye? So yeah, apparently it's quite a heartbreaking one, and I'm gonna cry. But sometimes you just need a book that's gonna make you cry. So yeah, You've Reached Sam. Okay, next we have got My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. So I think this is like a murder mystery, romance, bit of spice kind of thing. I've read some Tessa Bailey books, but not that many. But I really like Tessa Bailey in general. I think I like her like TikTok and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I'll like this one. I think my issue with a lot of these like romance ones is there's not enough smut. I think I like ruined books for myself last year that I read that much smut. I'm like, where is it? Like waiting for it to happen, you know? And then when it does happen, it's a bit like underwhelming. As I read quite a lot of like dark ones, you know, like mafia sort of, they're using like knife play and you know, stuff like that. That really, I was like, wow, opened my eyes to a lot when I was reading it. But yeah, I'll go through some of those books at some point. But anyway, back to My Killer Vacation. It was supposed to be a relaxing vacation in sweet sunny Cape Cod, just me and my beloved brother, but discovering a corpse in our rental house really throws a wrench into our tanning schedule. Now a rude, crude bounty hunter has arrived on the back of his motorcycle to catch the killer and refuses to believe I can be helpful, despite countless hours of true crime podcast listening. Not to mention a fulfilling teacher career of wrangling second graders, a brash bounty hunter and an energetic elementary school teacher, the murder-solving team no one asked for, but thanks to these pesky attempts on my life we're stuck together, come hell or high tide. I'm just here to do a job, not babysit an amateur sleuth, although it is becoming less and less of a hardship to have her around. Sure, she's stubborn, distracting and can't stay out of harm's way. She's also brave and beautiful and reminds me of the home I left behind 3 years ago. In other words, the insatiable hunger and protectiveness she is waking up in me is a threat to my peace of mind. Before I sink any deeper into this dangerous attraction, I need to solve this murder and get back on the road, but will fate take her from me before I realise the road has been leading to her all along? Oh, so cute. So I'm guessing it is dual POV, Miles and Taylor. Yeah, it looks like dual POV, which is my favourite. Yes, love that. So yeah, this one looks quite interesting. I like a bit of a murder mystery too, you know. Hopefully it's not like really obvious what's happened, because I hate that when you guess what's happened dead quickly. But I have heard good things, so hopefully. And apparently the spice is meant to be alright in this one. So My Killer Vacation, I think that's the 7th one. Yeah, 7th one. Next is another romance. It's X's and O's by Amy Leah. Wonderfully sexy and must read, says Ali Hazelwood. Which Ali Hazelwood, I think that's the author that wrote the like Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, those books. And I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of them, I'll be honest. I think they were just very predictable, you know. I don't know, I wasn't a fan. Especially Love on the Brain, I found that hard to get through. But it also could have been just because I was sick of reading those type of books, you know, where they just like fall in love and then, or they're not meant to fall in love, or they're enemies, or whatever the trope is at the beginning. Then they fall in love, then they have an argument and they break up and then they're back together again. You know what I mean? It's just very obvious. So yeah, I just didn't vibe with that. Anyway, that was a little off topic. This one, X's and O's. Tara Shen has had her heart broken 10 times by 10 different men. Nevertheless, she is still determined to find her perfect match. The only problem? Tara is a romance novel obsessive and her standards are sky high. Modern dating apps have killed the meet cute, so Tara decides to revisit her exes in the hope of finding her very own trope-worthy second chance romance. And every heroine needs a sidekick, so she enlists her new flatmate, Firefighter Trevor. What's the bet? She falls in love with Firefighter Trevor. Trevor Metcalf is the first to rush into a burning building, but the last to rush into a relationship. Love just isn't his thing, but the more time they spend together, the more Trevor appreciates Tara's authentic, dramatic self. Can they break the habits of a lifetime and give their spark a chance? And the review is sexy and sweet with a pitch perfect slow burn romance. That's by Catherine Walsh at The Rebound. Yeah, so it seems like a, I guess, would it be friends to lovers? And it sounds a bit like Grumpy Sunshine maybe. He's a bit of a grump and she's a bit of a hopeless romantic. So yeah, it seems cute. So that is X's and O's by Amy Leah. And then the penultimate book, something a little bit different, is Medusa by Jessie Burton. So I'm assuming this is a retelling of, well, Medusa. Has it got a little blurb? Oh, here we go. If I told you that I'd killed a man with a glance, would you wait to hear the rest? The why, the how, what happened next? Exiled to a far-flung island after being abused by powerful gods, Medusa has little company other than the snakes that adorn her head instead of hair. Haunted by the memories of a life before everything was stolen from her, she has no choice but to make peace with her present, Medusa the monster. But when the charmed and beautiful Perseus arrives on the island, her lonely existence is blown apart, unleashing desire, love, and betrayal. Monster, man-hater, murderous. Forget everything you've been told about Medusa in a new version of the story that history set in stone long ago. A little pun there. But there's a few let's try that again. There's a few reviews on the back that say utterly transporting, heartbreakingly relevant, a poetic, powerful reclamation of Medusa's story, filled with vulnerability, raw emotion, betrayal and self-acceptance. Beautiful storytelling refreshes an ancient myth with a way that empowers young women. So it was mainly the cover, I'll be honest, that made me pick this one up. But actually I think it might have been my boyfriend that picked this one up. I think I was in the bookshop and I was like, I can't choose one, you choose one for me. Like I really needed to buy more books. Like it was I was desperate to, I had to. So I think he actually chose this one for me, to be fair. So yeah, that is the 9th one on my TBR for this month. And then last but not least is one that I've seen all over BookTok, I've seen all over BookTube, all over Bookstagram, whatever all of the social medias are. And I've been wanting to read it for ages. I think I might do this one as a little like vlog maybe for the day for reading it, because I love watching people do those. And it is the first one in the Shatter Me series, which is just called Shatter Me, by Tahiri Mafi. I want to say, I hope I've said that right. So the front says, my touch is lethal, but that has a cross through it, and my touch is power. So I actually don't know anything about these books. I've just seen everyone be reading them, and I thought I bought the series. I think there's like 5 in the series, and then there's 4 novellas or something like that, but I don't have the 4 other ones. I just got the 5 main ones. So the back has got, I have a curse crossed out, I have a gift, I'm a monster crossed out, I'm more than human, my touch is lethal crossed out, my touch is power, I am their weapon, which is crossed out, and it's I will fight back. A fragile teenage girl is held captive, locked in a cell by the re-establishment, a harsh dictatorship in charge of a crumbling world. But Juliet is no ordinary teenager. One touch from her can kill. The re-establishment wants to use her as a weapon, but Juliet has other plans. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovered the strength to fight back and to find a future with the one person she thought she'd lost forever. Pum pum pum. So she can't touch anyone basically, because she'd kill him. That's the only thing I know about it. So yeah, that is the last one of my TBR for this month, Shatter Me. Maybe I'll read the rest in May, depending on how this one goes. I've heard that the first 2 are just okay, and then the 3rd one is really good. I think that's what I've heard, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It was mainly the front cover that made me want to get these, as well as, you know, everyone in the book social media world saying to read them and reading them, and I felt a little bit left out. So yeah, that is my 10 books for the month. Hopefully I'll get through them all. Like I said, I've read about 15 books in the past 3 months, which is not a lot, like, for me compared to last year, but we'll see. I have got an awful lot of physical books to get through, and I want to get through them before I buy any more, because it's just silly. What's the point in keeping them all, you know? So yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. But that is my April TBR. Let me know if you've read any of the books and what you thought. I think at the end of the month I'll do like a wrap up. I see a lot of people doing those, like a wrap up roundup of the books that they've read that month, so I'll try and do that, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll get them all read and maybe even read a few more on my Kindle. We'll see. But yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. But other than that, thanks again for watching. I will see you in a bit.